Have you ever stood by the ocean at night and just listened? It feels ancient, powerful, and full of secrets. But what if I told you the ocean is getting quieter, and that silence is a warning we can't afford to ignore? For centuries, the seas have been a symphony of sound. The clicks and whistles of dolphins, the haunting songs of humpback whales, the crackle of snapping shrimp. It's a vibrant, bustling underwater world. These sounds aren't just background noise. They're the language of the ocean. Marine animals use sound to navigate, find food, attract mates, and avoid predators. It's how they see their world, how they connect, and how they survive. But over the last century, we introduced a new, deafening sound into their world. Our own. The constant roar of massive container ships, the relentless pounding of offshore construction, and the explosive blasts from seismic surveys for oil and gas have turned their home into a chaotic, noisy metropolis. Imagine trying to have a conversation with a friend while standing next to a jet engine. That's the daily reality for countless marine creatures. This isn't just an inconvenience for them. It's a life or death crisis. The constant barrage of human-made noise masks the natural sounds they rely on. Whales are struggling to communicate across vast distances, their songs drowned out by engine hum. Babyfish, which use the sounds of coral reefs to find their way home, are getting lost in the acoustic fog. Entire ecosystems are being disrupted because the fundamental communication lines have been cut. The ocean is falling silent, not because there's nothing left to say, but because no one can hear. This acoustic bleaching is as devastating as the visual bleaching of our coral reefs. Yet it's largely invisible and unheard by us on the surface. When a whale washes ashore, disoriented and injured, we see the tragic result. But we don't hear the sonic blast that may have caused it. We see fish populations decline, but we don't hear the noise that drove them away from their breeding grounds. So, what can we do? The good news is, noise pollution is one problem we can solve. Unlike chemical spills or plastic waste that linger for decades, when we turn down the volume, the ocean gets quieter almost instantly. Solutions are already here. We can build quieter ships, using innovative propeller designs that drastically reduce noise. We can limit the speed of vessels in sensitive marine habitats. We can adopt new, quieter technologies for offshore exploration and construction. We can even create protected marine areas where the natural soundscape is preserved, giving marine life a quiet refuge to thrive. This isn't just about saving the whales or the fish, it's about saving ourselves. The health of our oceans is directly linked to the health of our planet. They produce more than half the oxygen we breathe and regulate our climate. A silent ocean is a sign of a dying ocean, and a dying ocean is a threat to all life on Earth. The next time you're near the water, take a moment to listen. Think about the incredible world of sound beneath the waves. We have a choice to make. We can continue to be the disruptive noise, or we can become the guardians of the ocean's symphony. Let's work together to turn down the volume and bring the music back to our seas. At first, the disruption was confined to shipping lanes. Now it spreads. Across the Pacific, entire regions of ocean begin to resist motion. Cargo ships attempt to reach, but the invisible barrier expands. Paths that were once clear become heavy, sluggish, impossible. From above, satellites reveal vast streaks across the oceans, like ghostly highways glowing beneath the surface, and they are growing. The phenomenon crosses continents. In the Indian Ocean, currents begin to slow dramatically. In the Atlantic Ocean, massive circulation systems start to weaken. The great ocean conveyor responsible for distributing heat across the planet begins to falter, and the consequences are visible. Storm systems change. Cloud patterns shift. In some regions, skies grow darker and heavier. In others, they clear unnaturally. On coastlines, tides behave strangely. Waves arrive slower, but with unusual force. Harbors that once bustled with activity now show stagnant water, thick and glassy. Oil tankers sit stranded offshore. Without movement, fuel shortages begin. Cities flicker, lights dim. In Tokyo, parts of the city fall into darkness. In New York City, emergency systems activate, traffic thickens. People look toward the oceans, searching for answers. Meanwhile, nature responds with intensity. With fewer ships crossing the seas, surface temperatures begin to change. Normally, shipping helps mix ocean layers. Now, the top layer warms in some regions, while deeper waters remain cold. This imbalance fuels extreme weather. Massive storms form suddenly. From space, swirling cyclones appear larger, more chaotic. Winds tear across coastlines. Rain falls in sheets. Lightning fractures the sky. Scientists race to explain what is happening. In labs, simulations run endlessly. They discover a disturbing pattern. The regions where shipping has stopped are no longer behaving like normal ocean water. The density changes are spreading outward, altering buoyancy and flow. One theory emerges: the constant movement of ships for decades may have subtly shaped ocean structure. Now, without that motion, the system is Another possibility is even more unsettling. A chain reaction. Small changes in density, altering currents, altering temperature, altering atmospheric systems, all feeding back into each other. The planet is recalibrating violently. Marine ecosystems begin to shift. In some areas, fish populations surge. In others, oxygen levels drop. Dead zones expand, visible from above as dark patches in the water. Coral reefs experience sudden temperature spikes. Colors fade. Bleaching spreads. Entire ecosystems begin to flicker between recovery and collapse. On land, the effects intensify. Supply chains break completely. Ports sit abandoned. Cargo piles up, unmoving. Air transport cannot keep up. Rail networks strain. Food shortages appear, not everywhere at once, but enough to be noticed. People line up, governments respond. Tension builds, and the oceans continue to change. The resistance spreads beyond shipping routes. Even smaller vessels begin to struggle. Fishing boats slow. Coast guards report difficulty navigating certain regions. The invisible force is no longer confined. It is expanding across the entire planet. From space, Earth looks different now, not because of what is added, but because of what is missing. No wakes trailing behind ships. No lines of motion across the seas. Just vast, still oceans. Broken only by storms, growing stronger each day. Scientists reach a chilling conclusion. If this continues, the ocean's role as Earth's climate regulator could collapse, and with it, the balance that allows life to thrive. As the camera pulls back, the planet spins quietly in darkness, but beneath the clouds, beneath the waves, something fundamental is breaking. The world is no longer stable. It is entering a critical stage. Have you ever felt like you're standing on the edge of a cliff? Not a real one, of course, but a metaphorical one. You've been pushed and pushed, stretched to your absolute limit, and you can feel something inside you is about to snap. That, my friends, is the breaking point. It's that moment of intense pressure where it feels like you just can't take anymore. We all face them. It could be in your job, with endless deadlines and a demanding boss. It might be in a relationship that's draining all your energy. Or maybe it's just the weight of daily life, piling up until you feel like you're about to crumble. It's a scary place to be. Your heart pounds, your mind races, and you might feel completely overwhelmed, maybe even hopeless. You might think, this is it. I'm done. I can't handle this. And in that moment, it fails through. The breaking point often comes with tears, with sooting, with a profound sense of exhaustion. It's the universe screaming at you that something has to change. It's a signal. A very loud, very uncomfortable signal that the path you're on is no longer sustainable. But here's the surprising thing about breaking points. They aren't just about breaking down. They're also about breaking through. Think about it. A dam holds back water until the pressure becomes too much, and then it breaks, releasing a powerful force. A seed stays locked in its shell until the pressure from within becomes so great that it cracks open, allowing a new plant to grow. Our breaking points work the same way. They are moments of profound crises, yes, but they are also moments of incredible opportunity. When you hit your breaking point, you're forced to stop. you're forced to reevaluate everything. The old ways of coping, of pushing through, of just dealing with it, they don't work anymore. And that's a gift. It's a painful gift, for sure, but a gift nonetheless. It's your chance to ask the hard questions. Why am I so stressed? What in my life is causing this unbearable pressure? What do I truly need to be happy and healthy? This is where the real transformation begins. I've been there. I remember a time in my career when I was working 80-hour weeks, fueled by caffeine and the fear of failure. I ignored my health, my relationships, my own well-being. My breaking point came one Tuesday morning when I just couldn't get out of bed. My body and mind just said, nope, we're done. It was terrifying. I thought I had failed, but after the initial panic, something shifted. I realized I had been chasing a version of success that was literally destroying me. That breakdown led to my biggest breakthrough. I quit that job, reevaluated my priorities, and started building a life that was actually mine, not one I thought I was supposed to have. So if you feel like you're nearing your breaking point, or maybe you're right in the middle of it, I want you to hear this. It's okay. It's okay to feel like you're falling apart. But please know that this is not the end. This is a turning point. Let yourself feel the emotions. Don't fight them. Acknowledge the pain and the pressure. And then, when you're ready, start looking for the lesson. What is this moment trying to teach you? What needs to change? This is your invitation to build a new foundation, a stronger one. Maybe it means setting boundaries, saying no more often. Maybe it means leaving a toxic situation. Or maybe it means finally asking for help. Talking to a friend, a family member, or a professional therapist can make all the difference. Remember, reaching out for support is a sign of incredible strength, not weakness. Your breaking point doesn't have to break you. It can be the very thing that remakes you. It's the moment the old you cracks open to make way for a stronger, more authentic, and more resilient you to emerge. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you, please share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories of breaking through. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content to help you live a more intentional life. See you next time.